are we doing today? This is Tech Sergeant T, kind of reminiscing, telling a few stories about my experiences. One that occurred to me, a couple of nights ago. Just been so busy, I haven't been able to get to it. What's your worst day? What's the day that went completely wrong? Hopefully it wasn't too serious, just a lot happening. My worst day, I did two tours in Berlin, Germany. One from 66 to 69 when I was single. And unfortunately got to come back again from 75 to 78 married. And marriage, children, always complicate your life a little in a nice sort of way. This was my son had been trying to ski down a slide. He was about 14, I guess, then. And had caught an edge on his ski, as they say, and fell over the side and messed up his leg a little bit. At least we thought it was a little bit. It wasn't swelling too bad or anything, so we gave it 24 hours. We were going to take him to the hospital the next day if he wasn't feeling better. Well, I got up in the morning to go to work, and my little square-back Volkswagen wouldn't start. And so I had to get to work, so I jumped on the bus. And German buses are like British buses; they're double-deckers. And in the mornings, they run two buses back to back for every stop, for every route. A lot of people in Europe use public transportation. So I jumped on the bus and I got to work okay. And after work, I got home and ran right upstairs, changed clothes to go work on the car. Well, I got downstairs and hit the ignition, and the doggone thing started right up. So that was a surprise, but and in the meantime, while I was working on the car, trying to get it going, my daughter, who was about 3 years old at the time, fell off a swing and hit her head right above her eye, split it open. So now I've got a kid with a bad leg and a daughter with a split head. So we grabbed him. My wife helped my son limp down 5 flights of stairs. Don't get too many elevators in less than 5 floors of an apartment in Germany. So we all got into the car and headed for the hospital, which fortunately wasn't too far from us. Got over there, and my son had broken his ankle. I guess they called it a growth plate, but it took a little chip right off the ankle bone. But they had to cast him all the way up to his groin just to keep it stabilized while it healed. My daughter's wasn't too bad. They put a butterfly bandage on it, and she was okay. So after a couple of hours, we got back in the car, and doggone it, the thing wouldn't start. Really irritated me. I could use some stronger language, but I won't. So we called my buddy Tony. He came down with his little Volkswagen bus, and he jumped us, got us started. Thought he'd follow us back to the apartment just to make sure that we got there. And the road that we were on was 2 lanes, 4 lanes, 2 in each direction, with a really wide island. I mean, we're talking probably 30 or 40 feet wide, with trees planted down the middle of it. Very nice. But as I made the left-hand turn onto my street, Zungauerstrasse, I didn't see a car because the road kind of curved away a little bit. Dadgummit, I turned right in front of her. It was my fault. She kind of caught me right in the back passenger side fender. And not even enough to stop us. I kept driving. My wife, she said, "Aren't you going to stop?" Well, I guess, I'd better, so I did. Germans get very upset when their cars get damaged. Insurance rates are high enough as it is, and if you leave a car too long off the side of the road, it actually gets pretty severely vandalized. I don't know what that's about, but so here I am with this bashed in rear fender, And her car, the front left is all banged up. The fender's pushed back, and the bumper's actually touching the tire, which is a problem. And the car was full of flowers. She was apparently on her way to a wedding. Well, she comes storming up to the car, looks in, sees a kid with a cast on his leg and a little girl with her head bandaged up. Kind of calmed her down a little bit, I think. So, of course, we had to call the German and the American authorities. That's typical in Berlin. So the MPs and the German Polizei are on their way. And I realize I've got my work pants on. I don't have a driver's license or an ID card. So Tony quickly runs to our apartment. I told him where that stuff was. He grabbed it and got back in time before the Polizei arrived. And we went all through the report. And it's meine Schuld. It's my fault. I took responsibility for it. And we got it all squared away. I got my ticket. And the lady was very upset because the bumper into her tire, just touching it, but it was enough that if she started driving, she's going to tear up the tire with the bumper. Thankfully, Tony was what they call a Staccababi. He was a big guy. He sat down and put his foot up against the wheel, and he grabbed that bumper and he pulled it out. Not a long ways, not all the way, but enough to clear the tire. So she was very thankful for that. She was able to continue on to her wedding. So, and we got home okay and settled in. Everything was pretty good, but so car wouldn't start. Car would start. Broken leg, split head. Car wouldn't start. Got in an accident. Tony had to jump me in again to get me the rest of the way home. So it was a really exciting day. But fortunately, everything came out okay. I'm sure we all run into those. So, yeah, what are you going to do? Just look at it, I guess, with a little bit of sense of humor and not let it get to you. So, next time you're having a bad day, think about that. It probably could be worse. So, well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk again soon. See you later.